Welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to share with you one of my most recent trips that I took. It was just a couple months ago. We went to the beautiful Central America of Costa Rica, had an amazing time. We stayed in Tamarindo Resort, which is on the Pacific side. We flew into Liberia airport and rented a car from there, and the resort came highly recommended by a dear friend of mine who is a travel agent for destination weddings called Blissfulhoneymoons.com. I'll throw that information in below. She's an expert in Costa Rica and some great places. You just got to tell her what it is that you're looking for. The hotel is amazing. It's on the Pacific Ocean. The resort was literally walking distance on the beach within seconds. I mean, it had its own little private area on the beach that is owned by the hotel. You can even be in the swimming pool. You can see the ocean from there. The resort was absolutely beautiful. The staff was amazing, very accommodating, very nice. They had resident iguanas, so there was iguanas all over the place. It was kind of cool to be swimming in the pool, and then you look over and there's an iguana on the side of the pool, just chilling out in the sun. It was an amazing spot to be at. I'm very thankful that we stayed there. Along the row of the resort, there are a lot of restaurants within walking distance that we just had a blast every night. We checked out a different restaurant. Next door was a pizza place that made pizza the old way in the wood burning fire. It was awesome. It was great. We would grab the pizza. We went back to our room, or we go down to the pool. A couple doors down, there was a bar right on the beach that was great. Made amazing nachos. Across the street, there was a small little tiny casino. We did go to the casino. It was very small. Made a few bucks, nothing big, but it was really fun to go there. A lot of shops along the way. Only word of advice, they do take American dollars there. It would definitely switch into colones, which is their currency, because when you pay American dollars, they pay you back in colones. And if you're not really quick on the math, we did find that we were shorted a few times, but if we were in colones, it would be much easier to keep track and make sure that that didn't happen. There was this one lady that I bought some of these cute little whistles from. They're ceramic, hand painted and everything. She was awesome. She was very fun to work with. So our first day there, we left the resort, and like I said, we did have a rent-a-car, so we got to travel all over. The first day out, it was kind of a little scary. We went probably 30 minutes down the road, and we were pretty much on a very small highway, not a lot of traffic, and not with a lot of farmland around, not very many vehicles, and we did get pulled over in a police checkpoint. I was a little nervous. You know, you hear all these things about Central America and, you know, don't give them your ID and, you know, they just want money and all of that. I wasn't fearful for my life. I just didn't know what was going to happen. So he did pull us over. He was very stern, didn't speak much to us, just ID. And we gave him our ID and insurance, gave him our insurance, registration. And then he asked, rent a car? And we said yes. And he said, go. And that was it. So we were on our way, no issues. We went and did all this shopping, and then on the way back to the resort, we actually went a different way on the way back, and we got pulled over again by the same officer. But it was kind of funny because as we were pulling up to the checkpoint, he recognized us, and he got this really big smile on his face, and he's like, "You again?" And we said yes, and we smiled, and he just gave us the biggest smile and waved us on, and we just went on our way. Totally redeemed himself. I just realized he was just doing his job that morning, just pulling people over for whatever reasons, checking for probably stolen vehicles or registration or anything like that. So I just thought it was really cute because he had a huge smile and was just, go ahead. So after the first time we were pulled over in the checkpoint, going along this very private, not very busy highway, we came across a side vendor who had hand-carved items on the side of the road. So we pulled over, and he didn't speak very good English, but we were able to get our point across to each other. He pulled out his phone and we translated. He was really nice. His family came out. We got a couple pieces. So here's some pictures of some of the pieces that we picked up. This one is my favorite one, but I couldn't fit it in my luggage, so I had to go with the smaller version. But I love finding those little niches of that where things are handmade. This gentleman made this stuff with his own hands with the wood that he found on his property. I just absolutely love that. I love supporting the community. It was awesome, and it's a piece that I'll cherish forever. Love it. The next day we went to Diamante's Adventure Zipline Park. When I think of Costa Rica, I think of ziplining. I think of ziplining, I think of the monkeys, and I think of jungle. And so this is something that I absolutely had to do on this trip, was to go ziplining. This particular ziplining park, you can zip line, and then they have like a sanctuary with some of the local wildlife there that you can see. They have Lucy, the sloth, which I was so excited to see. I wanted to go to Costa Rica and see a sloth so bad. Not knowing, not realizing it until after I booked the trip that sloths are not really indigenous to the Pacific side. But they did have Lucy at this little sanctuary, which was kind of cool. She was pretty docile, didn't really come around. When they were feeding her, she just was there, but it was really cute. I was very happy to be able to see that. They did have wild monkeys though while we were there, just around the park. So it was kind of cool to see the wild monkeys up in the trees. There was a couple babies. I didn't get really great footage of them. It was really hard to get. But they had all different types of animals in that area, and it was, you know, crocodiles and stuff. So anyways, we went ziplining, had a great time. I think we did like 4 different zip lines. I felt totally safe the whole time. One of my favorite zip lines was they called the Superman. You lay flat and you go about 60 miles an hour. So you're zipping very quickly. It was fun. You basically are ziplining with the ocean in your view, the jungle below you. While we were doing the ziplining, we met a couple other people on the tour, and we met this couple that just recently moved to Costa Rica. They were from the United States, and they opened scooters in Playa Flamingo. So the next day we had to go visit them and go check out their restaurant. It was an awesome restaurant. I'll throw the link in below. If you're ever in that area, you have to go in and check them out. The food was great. The atmosphere was great. The price was amazing. But what's really cool is on the outside of their little bar area, they have a swimming pool that is in their restaurant bar area that overlooks the Pacific Ocean, which is awesome. So I'll definitely put the links down below. Right around the corner from Scooters is Margaritaville on the Playa Flamingo beach. We didn't go into Margaritaville, but it was a very large resort, and I could tell it was in a really good area. So if I ever went back, that may be a place I would go check out. We then signed up to do a jungle cruise. It was about maybe a 5-minute drive from our resort. You could book it through the resort. The pricing was a little bit more, and it was more all day. They had a little excursion shop next to our resort, and we went in and checked them out. I feel very safe going into actual structures and establishments that are brick and mortar that have a building. To book my excursions, I don't book off the street. There was a guy right out front saying he can do it cheaper, and I just don't feel safe doing that. But this little store that we went into, this little shop, or travel agent or whatever, went in and we signed up to do the jungle cruise the next morning. It was $25 for a 2-hour cruise. They pretty much guaranteed that we'd see crocodiles and monkeys. So we did do the very early one. I think it was the 7:30 one. It was, we went in June, so it was a little bit warm in June, or the river at high noon or anything like that. We wanted to be back before it got really hot out there. So we did the 7:30, was no problem getting up. We just walked right next door. It was really easy. They picked us up, drove us down the road. We were very fortunate. We were on a boat with just us. So it was just the three of us. I think it was too early for other tourists to get up that early, but it was nice because we had our private tour and we beat the heat. And I also thought maybe in the morning, animals would be more active. We were fortunate. We did see some crocodiles. By the luck of the travel guide, I don't know how he could spot these things. They were, yes, you can, in these pictures, you can see crocodiles. I don't know how they saw them, but they were able to spot them out. We were also able to see like termite nests, some wildlife around. It was awesome. And then we stopped in the middle of the tour and got out onto shore, and you could see little crabs running everywhere, running into these little mounds that look like gopher holes or whatever, little mounds everywhere. And then he hiked and took us, we probably hiked for about maybe 10 minutes through the jungle and came to this area where there were monkeys up in the canopy of the trees. It was so cool to see them up there. You can see little babies and stuff. I'm gonna show you a video where the monkeys were talking to the guide. The guide would call out to them, and then they would make their, you know, noises back. And so that was kind of cool.
That is amazing.
And then we went back onto the boat, and it was really cool. They served us fresh pineapple and a fresh bottle of water. We brought our own snacks, wasn't sure, but it was really cool. It was definitely worth the $25. Highly recommend it. I would do it again. So another thing that we were looking for while we were in Costa Rica is waterfalls. It's another thing that I think of when I think of Costa Rica is beautiful waterfalls. So we were able to get with some locals, and they told us of this great waterfall to go check out. It passed the airport, but not by much. It was a little tough to find. I really had to follow your navigator. It was called Catarata Falls, one of their national parks. It just cost a couple of dollars to get in. When we got there, there was nobody there. Now again, we're in June. I would have thought there would have been a lot of people there. There was only a few cars in the parking lot. We hiked down this little trail. Took just a few minutes to get to the bottom, very easy to access. And you get down to the bottom to this beautiful waterfall. So we took a lot of pictures, me and the girls, taking pictures of each other, found a few people to take group pictures of us. It was kind of funny. My friend did get a few little nips of some sort of fish. We don't know what it was. So she didn't stay in the water very long. But it was just a beautiful waterfall, and I was so happy that we were able to find it. After leaving the waterfall, we happened to come across a coffee plantation. They were almost closed. They didn't have any tours available, but we were fortunate enough to meet the grandson of the founder of this coffee plantation. He gave us a private tour and was able to explain a little bit about the coffee plantation. So we got a little short version of what their tour was like. It was really cool. I learned a lot that I didn't know before about coffee. And then as we were checking out, we bought a couple bags of coffee, and as we were checking out, we were able to meet the grandfather who was the founder of the coffee plantation. It was pretty cool. He took a picture with us, and he signed all of our bags, and his picture is actually on the coffee bags. So that was kind of cool to be able to meet him. So I hope this video was very informational for you, and that you someday get a chance to visit this beautiful country and meet these amazing people. Just remember, when you're traveling, be kind. If you like this video, don't forget to share and subscribe and turn on your notifications. And I can't wait to see you next time.